Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the Santa Ana Star Center. As tonight, Bellator MMA, the toughest tournament in sports, now kicks off the evening 3 5-minute rounds in the bantamweight division. Brought to you by Orthrus Promotions, we introduce the red corner first. At 6 foot, weighing in at 135.1 pounds. Early in his professional career, he stands at 1-0. He fights out of Rio Rancho, New Mexico. Introducing Steve Mean Machine Garcia. And across the cage, his opponent tonight fighting out of the blue corner. At 5'5", weighing in 135.6 pounds. He too stands undefeated early on. 2 victories, no defeats. He fights out of San Jose, California. Introducing Bunch, the great Shawn Bunch. And the referee in charge of the action, Robert Romero.
Set now for this fight in the bantamweight division, Steve Garcia versus Shawn Bunch. Our tale of the tape is brought to you by Dave & Buster's. Eat, drink, play, watch sports.
Steve Garcia, 6 foot tall, 73-inch reach. That's what Bunch has to get around to get his wrestling going in this fight.
Fighter, fight!
Round number 1. Our fight clock is brought to you by Miller Lite, the official beer of Bellator. It's not just a good time, it's Miller time. Jimmy, you mentioned the wrestling of Shawn Bunch, who was in the black trunks. Steve Garcia, his opponent, in the black and gray trunks. Bunch, the runner-up finisher in both the 2008 and 2012 U.S. Freestyle Wrestling Olympic trials. 2 victories away from 2 Olympic Games.
Incredible resume in terms of his wrestling. Wrestled at Edinburgh University, great program, Division I. He's got to get around that reach and the footwork of Garcia. That's the key in this fight. And there you go.
Shot in the takedown immediately. High close guard from Garcia.
Landed right in the triangle, but Garcia not able to close it. Uses that opportunity to get back to his feet. That's smart.
Garcia exploding, almost had the sweep and then exploding back to his feet.
That's what you have to worry about with Bunch. He's extremely explosive, incredibly athletic. He was in on that double leg fast, Shawn.
Knee to the thigh, thrown by Garcia. See Bunch trying to change levels. Gone are the days in our sport of mixed martial arts when you can come in with a high level of wrestling background and just dominate in MMA.
Yeah, you gotta have a complete game.
Nice, right back up.
That takedown ain't bad.
Quality takedown again for Shawn Bunch.
He's gotta put weight on him. He has to use his positioning to keep him down. That's something the 170-pound champ Ben Askren's so good at. He doesn't just take you down, he keeps you there. Bunch can't give him any space.
Garcia trying to explode back to his feet once more. See the ankle, far side controlled by Bunch. Elbows from Garcia. Bunch now with the waist cinch.
That good positioning, hasn't done a lot with it.
See the right hand, right fingertips down by Garcia. It's to keep Bunch from being able to legally knee the head.
Go work, gentlemen.
Referee Robert Romero saying, let's work. Bunch answers the call. .215 remaining round number 1.
This space, Garcia cannot get anything done. You see him landing short strikes there, but it's not going to win him the fight.
Bunch being very sticky, Jimmy, on the ground and standing. For the outside trip is Bunch, and he gets it with the drag down as well. Not quite clean on the outside trip, but he snatched the waist as well. Elbows from the bottom from Garcia. Fighting out of the open guard.
Not being passive off his back. He's working.
This is really the evolution for wrestlers in MMA, isn't it? You've gotten the takedown, now what? because you know the takedowns are going to come.
Got to get range to throw those strikes, but he doesn't want to give Garcia enough room to pop back to his feet. You see him trying to do it there. Trying to shrimp up to the cage, look for him to cage walk back to his feet.
Jimmy, if you're training someone with the international wrestling pedigree of Shawn Bunch this early in his career, from this position, are you teaching him ground and pound or are you teaching him submissions?
First ground and pound, then submission. Submission is just harder to get. A lot of guys have what I call wrestler's jiu-jitsu. They'll get a rear naked choke, a head and arm choke, the simple stuff, the guillotine that a guy does when you're putting pressure on him with ground and pound. That's the first thing you teach him.
There's the separation, Bunch backs off, Garcia coming forward. Garcia is yet to be able to establish that reach and range advantage. There's two on that kick. Radically different body types. Garcia, incredibly tall for a 35er and 6 foot to Bunch's 5'5". By Garcia, pump the jab. And we see Bunch keeping his distance in the stand-up.
Trying to bait him in. He knows he can't beat that range. He's getting, oh, nice kick.
Get caught again, the takedown, indeed, from Shawn Bunch. He's been extremely good with his takedowns. That's the end of round one. To the corner of Shawn Bunch.
Sit up. Hey, you're doing good, bro. I need more feints.
Remember the head pressure from the guard. If you end up in the guard again.
I need more feints. Circle to your left, not to your right. You hear me? To your left. Breathe and relax.
Takedowns by Shawn Bunch. Look at that double leg. Look at the power. Gets him 3 feet in the air. Same thing on this double leg. Incredibly explosive, catching the kick and lifting him up. Ton of power for Shawn Bunch. Needs a little bit more control in this round two.
Garcia felt that he would have the major advantage in striking in this fight, but you have to keep it standing to establish the striking advantage.
And wide punches like that are not going to help you.
The scorecard round one, Jimmy?
10-9 Shawn Bunch, based almost exclusively on the takedown and the control. Controlled him up against the fence, throwing those knees. A little bit of ground and pound. It's more the takedown.
Right hand from Garcia. Right base from Bunch. Rare time he's played defense in this fight. More shots now from Garcia. Romero telling Garcia, watch the back of the head.
Those look legal to me, though.
It's the Mohawk strip, so think of a
aiming
Mohawk.
for the ear, they're going for the outside. Yeah, that's a totally legal shot. Both of those are.
Any portion of the glove or elbow touches the ear, it's legal.
Good explosion by Bunch, he needed that.
Showing his class on the ground there is Shawn Bunch. Heel strikes now from Garcia on the bottom. Bunch just holding this top position. Jimmy, we can see Garcia not content just to close guard. He's trying to be active on his back, but Bunch just so good with that top game control.
Yeah, but he hasn't done a lot with his ground and pound. You gotta remember, 2 wins for Shawn Bunch, both of them decisions. Hasn't shown great finishing instinct so far, so Garcia feels confident I can let go and he's not gonna finish me. In head and arm position, can't get that without passing guard.
And Garcia to his feet. Trying the back kick out the leg of Shawn Bunch. And you see Garcia keeping himself grounded. Time called.
Tape on the gloves.
Comes Dean Lassiter, Bellator cutman to the rescue. Good job by the referee. Romero waiting for the neutral position, calling time, fixing the tape on the glove, time in. Feint on the shot by Bunch.
One thing Bunch has that a lot of wrestlers don't is that side-to-side movement, good footwork. So even when he's not, oh, nice shot by Garcia.
Double left hand, Bunch right back in looking for the single leg. Again the takedown.
You see Garcia working hard for the Kimura there. But in this second round, Bunch hasn't done a lot with his top positioning. Bunch just hasn't shown that, well-rounded game yet. Remember, it's only his third fight. Still very much a wrestler in MMA as opposed to a mixed martial artist right now. I think Garcia's being more effective from the bottom than Bunch is being from the top.
Garcia briefly holding the body triangle from the bottom, something he can do with this build. Again, though, body triangle from the bottom, you're not going to sweep Shawn Bunch. It's just a controlling move.
Yeah, very hard to submit a guy from the body triangle. It's basically to keep a guy close. See, Shawn Bunch is hanging on here, not really landing any ground and pound. And here's an important thing to keep in mind. Garcia's staying busy, so the referee's not standing him up, basically because of Garcia. You see they're staying him now, but if he held on, might be able to get an earlier stand-up, Shawn, because Bunch is not being very active.
Stand up from Romero. Garcia waiting forward now with intent. 50 seconds remaining, round two. Again, the feint from Garcia. Jabs out of Garcia southpaw stance. Kick from Bunch. That's interesting. Garcia slips, Jimmy. Bunch doesn't pounce. Now he pounces and gets another takedown. Bunch having no trouble finding the takedowns.
See the wrist control from Garcia. That means the triangle setup. Now going to the omoplata. Here's corner saying, watch the triangle.
Again, the open active guard from Steve Garcia. It's Shawn Bunch holding top position. Holds it to the bell.
All right, watch hard in the back of the head. You did pretty good there, but watch it, okay? And as long as you're active, I'm not going to stand you guys up.
Now just breathe. Okay. 2 rounds. He got that round with takedowns. He's not fighting, he's not a fighter. He's here to wrestle, he's afraid to mix it up. But look, stay low. Keep your level change when you're throwing your 2. Make sense? Good movement, land some crisp shots. When he backs out, follow him with the head kick. When he's backing up, good straight shots.
Also, I want you to know that one knee elbow. Got it?
Let's take him, let's finish it.
Corners out! Corners out!
Finish it.
Garcia's cornered Jimmy, telling him Bunch is not a fighter, he's a wrestler.
That's what it's looked like so far. I got to agree with that assessment. Bunch has had good takedowns, but not effective ground and pound, hasn't threatened with any submissions. Been very passive once he's been on top.
What do you think round two?
I may be wrong here, but I'm giving it to Steve Garcia. I thought he did well from the bottom, landing those elbows and punches, obviously aggressive on the feet. And Bunch got takedowns, didn't do anything with the top position. I'm giving it to Garcia 10-9.
We know a lot of you like to score these fights. Remember, the way that scoring is now done under the ABC in North America, guard is a neutral position.
The guy on top isn't automatically winning. He's got to do something with it. I didn't think Bunch did much with it.
Look at effective grappling. It's effective striking / effective grappling. Give both equal weight. And look at the round two effective grappling. Jimmy, you see it more so effective for Garcia from what he was doing on the bottom.
Yeah, definitely. Now, one thing is Bunch not really setting up his takedown. He kind of waits for Garcia to overcommit and then drops his level and takes him down.
Let's go, fighter. You got to fight back from there. Fighter, if you just lay there, I'm not going to stop it.
Left hands from Garcia.
Well, the ref actually saying, if you don't do something, I'm going to stop it. That would be an interesting stoppage, to say the least. I don't know if I'd agree with that.
Do something.
Wow, Romero telling Garcia, essentially telling Bunch, you've got to do something.
I would be very surprised to see him stop this fight here, but Bunch just holding on right now.
There's the elbow from Garcia.
These are not fight-ending punches. That would surprise me.
Good elbow strike from Garcia.
And Bunch has to do something here. Regardless if the fight stops or whether he stops the fight or not, he's certainly not finishing this takedown. Has to switch it up or drive through. He almost stepped in and stopped it right there. Wow.
Shocking, Jimmy.
That is shocking. With the kind of punches Garcia was landing, might warn a guy for stalling and stand him up, but man, that would be a very controversial stoppage. Glad it didn't happen. Bunch now having trouble. Looks fatigued, Shawn.
A long way to go in this fight. 2:40 remaining in this third and final round.
It happened to Bubba Jenkins. Similar circumstances could have happened tonight with Shawn Bunch.
See, establishing the jab from the southpaw stance, stalking.
Oh, nice left hand, another good one.
Bunch on his bicycle.
That's the problem with Garcia. He wants to be aggressive. He doesn't want to give up another takedown.
See him trying to take the back.
Let go again.
Another good left by Garcia.
Engage.
Bunch again just backing out. Looking for the takedown, trying desperately on the single leg. Hammer fist now from Garcia.
Fight back.
Referee right now just looking for an excuse to step in. You can tell by his body language he wants to stop this fight. Makes a little more sense now. Bunch looks tired. He's taking some good shots. I don't think it's going to take much for Garcia to finish this fight. Now on top, and that's it.
That is it. TKO victory for Steve Garcia in his Bellator debut.
Once again, I think that was quick. I don't think Shawn Bunch was exactly hurt yet. Referee was looking for an excuse to stop that, but let's not take away from the performance of Steve Garcia. Great performance in the third round. That stoppage, like I said, a little early. Could have happened 30, 40 seconds later. Referee looking for a reason in that third round.
Let's see our fight replay, which is brought to you by Rise, Son of Rome. It's only on Xbox One.
And you see here the referee stepping in to stop the fight right when Shawn Bunch came up. That would have been extremely controversial because Garcia just wasn't landing big shots. And here, look, he lands a big shot, nice left hand. By this point, I think Bunch is still very much in the fight. That's an early stoppage to me, but once again, great performance by Steve Garcia. Don't want to take anything away from that kid.
Not as early as we almost saw here in the third round, Jimmy.
Now, Bunch is still down against the cage. He is exhausted. Just didn't have the energy for a long fight when things were not going his way.
Steve Garcia, very confident. He said something interesting, Jimmy. Bunch in a wrestling match, he said I would have no chance. He said, wrestling for MMA, I think I'm better.
It isn't just about wrestling. Garcia landed good shots. He weathered the storm early from Bunch. A lot of takedowns in the first 2 rounds, but round number 3, all Steve Garcia.
How much of that do you think was just Bunch gassing out?
Well, it's part gas, part frustration. You gotta remember, he wasn't really setting up his takedowns. In the first 2 rounds, he was waiting for Garcia to come in, then he was changing level and taking him down. In the third round, when Garcia wasn't doing that, he started running out of gas and frustration. The fight wasn't going his way. How do you deal with that? Only his second fight.
Here's a big Steve Garcia fan, and let's go to Michael Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, referee Robert Romero steps in and calls a halt to this contest. Official time 3 minutes, 29 seconds into round number 3. The winner by TKO, still undefeated, Steve Mean Machine Garcia.
The emotion on the face of 21-year-old Steve Garcia gets the victory in round 3.
This is a left hand that stopped the fight right on the jaw. Referee steps in and has seen enough.
So Garcia now 2-0 in his young pro MMA career and 1-0 in the Bellator cage.